If you've been thinking a lot lately about starting to learn how to play the violin or viola, but you've been on the fence about it and just couldn't get yourself to start for a long time because you heard how difficult this instrument really is, which is true, I want to give you 4 things that you do not need in order to get started, and also 4 things that you absolutely do need. The 4 things you don't need to get started on the violin is you don't need a super expensive instrument or a bow. You also don't need, number 2, you don't need the most expensive strings. You don't need super high quality gear to start off with. The third thing people are surprised by sometimes, and that is you don't already need to know how to read music before starting the violin. Even if you're starting as an adult, I mean, I teach a lot of young children who are learning how to read in their native language at the same time they're learning to play the instrument. Maybe at the same time they're learning to read music side by side. Of course, for each person, the journey will look different, but no matter where you are, if you're starting the violin, whether you know how to read music or not, it doesn't matter, because at the beginning, you're gonna be learning the foundations, how to hold this thing, how to listen, how things work, all that kind of stuff. Number 4, you don't need to have perfect pitch or some God-given special talent, for that matter. I don't have perfect pitch, but let's talk about the 4 things that are really important if you're gonna learn the violin. Number 1 is super, super, super important, and that is you need to have a good teacher. You can be the smartest, most diligent person in the world, but to learn the violin, you need a good teacher who will set you up and help you on the right track to develop good foundation. And believe it or not, bad habits will happen to everybody, okay? And the teacher will help to keep guiding you in the right direction over and over and over again. Number 2 is you do need an instrument that is reliable, okay? So that means please do not buy your instrument on Amazon. Those are, in the music world, these are called violin-shaped objects, all right? And also, for goodness sake, don't buy them on Temu. I had a student, a young kid, who asked me, "Can I buy a violin on Temu?" No, don't buy it on Temu. Go to either go to your local luthier, which is preferable, or if you absolutely are not able to, buy from a reputable instrument shop, such as charmusic.com, based in Michigan. I have been shopping with them for a long time. I buy my strings there all the time. Also, Fiddler Shop is a great one, based in Florida. There are some others out there. Of course, I can't mention everything in one video, but you get my drift. So luthier, very important, because what you want is working parts, first of all. Proportions. The bridge of an instrument has to be specifically measured to fit that specific instrument. So even though all full-size violins are essentially the same length, each instrument is going to be slightly different. Okay, even by the millimeter, it can feel completely different. So the bridge, the thickness, the shape, the curvature of it, it all really, really matters. Okay. Also, the sound post. The sound post needs to, luthier needs to check that it's placed well for the instrument to resonate properly. Also very important, right here, the nut of the instrument, right here where the strings begin. You want to make sure that those perfect fifths are going to be, in fact, straight across the fingerboard. Otherwise, it's going to be a big problem. All right. Alright, so you get the idea. This is why it's important to have a reliable instrument. Same thing with the bow. For the bow, essentially, if you're getting a wooden bow, you need to have a camber that goes down towards the hair. That is, the stick has to be in line with the hair, so you can check kind of by looking like this. I'll show you from the side. I check like this to see if the stick is in line with the hair. And if it's not, if you see that it's swerving off to the side like this, it needs to either be corrected or you need to get a different bow. The other thing you need to check about the bow is where that balance point is, because, and also where it, you see how it goes down. It's actually shaped in an arch. If I go like this, you see how it's happening in the middle of the bow. You want to make sure it's not happening somewhere over here. Okay, something to look out for. Again, a luthier will help answer all these questions and make sure you have a good working instrument to start with. Many people who start the violin, who get a bad instrument, they quit very soon because they're very frustrated. They're not able to do anything, to make any progress, and it's not their fault. It's because they got one of those violin-shaped objects. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3, in order to learn to play the violin, or anything for that matter, patience and commitment. If you want to be good at anything, whether it's a sport or to be a good writer, or doesn't matter, you have to work on the basics over and over again for decades. All right, so that's really is what it takes. Number 4, really important also, and that is a trainable ear. So like I said earlier, you don't need to have perfect pitch, and I definitely do not. But what you need to be trained at, and a teacher can help you with this, is to develop your relative pitch. So be ready to listen actively and attentively, and you're going to spend lots of time adjusting, noticing things that you maybe have not noticed before. Relative pitch can be trained. I talk about it in some of my earlier videos about intonation, how to learn intervals, how to learn harmony. Also understanding how something is supposed to sound before you actually play. That's a really important skill to have in order to play in tune on the violin, and it does take time, but everybody can develop it to a certain extent. The journey is going to look different for every person, but these are the 4 things that are needed in order to learn to play the violin or viola. So I hope this video has given you some reassurance and more clarity. Now, if you have more questions on this topic, put them down in the comments below. I will do my best to answer as many of them as possible, if not all. I try to get to as many comments as I can. Also, if you're looking for more guidance to supplement your violin lessons, I post a lot of videos on my channel for beginners through professional levels, how to practice, and some ideas that have come my way along my journey. I talk about different perspectives that have helped me along the way, and maybe they can help you too. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel down below, and I'll see you next time.